Welcome to Yep Yeah Yes with Marissa and Tanika. Today we're going to discuss reality TV and how the realness and or fakeness affects us. How you doing, Marissa?
I'm okay. How you doing?
Why your voice all shaky?
I've had a rough week.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it starting to, come together now? Make a little sense? Or do you see an end in sight, or?
No.
So this is another show. You're gonna take notes so that you can.
I'll take notes.
We discuss it down the road.
We'll discuss.
We'll discuss down the road.
Yeah.
How was your 4th of July?
It was eye-opening, but happy birthday to America.
Mm-hmm.
But it was eye-opening.
That's like very vague.
Yeah, it has to do with what I'm going through it, homie.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing. Before we get into this reality thing, if you don't want me on this podcast to investigate further, because I don't really ask too many questions.
Don't talk
just
about
say,
it.
No, just say it was good. How was yours? You're like,
Okay. All right.
Just get into it real quick if you need to. If you don't.
I'm just a little sad, and I feel like moves are being made without my happiness invested into these moves.
In being taken account.
Yeah, in account. But you know what's so funny? A comment that you made to me a while ago, but you've said this to me for ages, was said to me by somebody else this week, and I was like, holy crap.
It's always the second person that gets the love.
No, it's not the second person, because I'm always like, I know how to communicate clearly, but I think and you broke it down to me the other day so perfectly. You're like, in business, you communicate very clearly. In your personal life, you are vague as shit. And I was like,
just like now, I'm
completely vague.
That's how you started out. I'm like, you can't do it in personal life, but me and you, I can call you out on it. But on the podcast now, everybody's like, well, I want to know
what happened.
Just be like, if you don't want to talk about it, just be like,
I'm all
it
right.
was good.
It was great.
How was yours? That's it.
I saw fireworks.
Okay.
And they were gorgeous.
Remember back in the day, before the kids were born, going to Jones Beach, and that was nice. And then even when they were born, I think we went by your house.
Bald Hill. Yeah, that's where I'd been going.
Okay, so yeah, it's always nice. My uncle actually did fireworks yesterday. We had our annual block party.
Chinese lantern?
Yeah,
oh,
he did a lot of them.
Really?
The last one he did was hard to get up because the air was so thick. So you
with
need
the
air.
smoke?
No. Like you need a breeze for it to go up, and so it was like it took them like 5 minutes. But other than that, the block party was good. Food was good. My mom was here, so it was very nice. It's always nice to be with family and neighbors and people that you can remind. Put the face to the neighbors, and they always, even when you don't think they're looking out for you, they are.
Yeah.
Somebody parks in the street, and they've been there way too long, and nobody recognizes the car. They're gonna call on your behalf, or vice versa.
Yeah.
It's nice to have that kind of community. So, but so 4th of July was good. Yours was semi-good.
Yeah, it was good.
You're here.
I'm here. Hey, girl. It's another day. It's a blessing. How's your cough?
It's all right. Hopefully I'm not going to cough, and we'll move on from there. Anyway, so go ahead. Do you have one other thing you want to say?
Our special guest from last week was amazing.
Amazing. He was good. Got a lot of feedback, a lot of followers from that.
Yeah, and nice to reminisce on good music.
It's like he was like... He was a good, even though we had your niece on, that was unexpected. But he was good in the sense that it was something for us to realize that we can have guests on and have a real conversation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So glad that he was the first booked guest. Yes.
Yeah, first booked guest, and his musical archive memory is
I know. I was
spot
like,
on.
what the hell?
He is spot on. Yeah.
And then I was all pissed because I was like, I picked Guy, and he was talking about New Edition. I was like, damn it. I would have kept doing rewind. No, in my room. And he broke it down. His argument for it was like right on point. He was definitely a good guest. So if you're listening, Blends, which he may not be, but hopefully he is.
I am DJ Blends.
Hopefully you're listening. Let you know that we appreciate you and appreciate you for sharing and posting about the show as well. Anyway, so reality TV, real or fake?
I'm hooked on it, and I love it.
So when I was thinking about this topic, I said to myself, there's 3 levels that I believe of reality TV.
Okay.
The first one is the competition reality.
Oh, right, like a real world road rules challenge.
Right. and then Survivor, Big Brother, those kind of things where there's the competition that's mixed into it.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have the reality shows where it's people that are kind of brought together, like one or two might know each other, but they're brought together and they're meant to like be friends.
Oh, basically. Right, where you're seeing the dynamics form, or like forming relationships, dynamics,
right. Even though one or two might have known each other, for the most part, it's like a casting thing where they're like these dynamics will work together.
Right.
And then the third one is the celebrity one. And mind you, all of these people become celebrities. Like you think about the Hills and the Real Housewives franchise. Nobody knew who they were. And then
which one? The Hills? Oh, the Hill, like Laguna Beach and stuff.
Right.
But MTV was the will you give MTV the credit for being?
Yeah. But not with the Hills though.
The Real World.
Oh, you know what? I didn't even think of that. I was thinking more with the Real World. Yeah, you're right.
That was like the first brought together sort of.
I was actually thinking because I was thinking you're right. You know, the first one I actually thought of was which is actually later was the Osbournes. So I give them credit with the celebrity nature of it.
Oh yeah, you know the Osbournes
because they made it okay for famous people to go ahead
and be on TV.
And then now it's like everybody wants a reality show.
Yeah.
Before like 10, 15 years ago, it's like no, I'm not. That's the gutter. You know, it's just like actors, like now they're on TV. It's like,
but actors, a celebrity, well, actors, I'm going to say actors, those in the profession of acting, not to be famous, they feel that there should be, I've heard on interviews, and what's that show that it's always on A&E, the Actor Studio, how they say when they're not in the public eye so much because they want to keep that buffer for the character, so you don't see them as an individual, you see the character that they're playing.
They want to maintain their craft. I call bullshit though.
Oh really?
Yes, because I don't think it's about their craft. I think it's about their popularity.
Oh.
I don't think it has anything to do with like my art. I want to make sure because if that was the case, they wouldn't do movies and TV shows for money.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right,
it seems to me that I think it's more about they want to protect the brand.
Yeah.
The image.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so by doing a reality TV show, it's like somebody else is in charge of your image.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's not too many, you know, I would say like maybe the Kardashians are one of the few franchises where their image and what they say is pretty much not that they edit it themselves, but they have control over what is shown publicly.
Yeah, and they create their storylines.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like I don't know that. Like I remember Clint Eastwood. Remember he had the show with his wife.
His wife was more like.
Yeah, but he appeared on it.
Yes. Yes.
And so it's like one of those things where it's like.
I have to say though, I looked at him kind of funny after that show.
Me too.
Because I was like, all of this is a mess, and you're Clint Eastwood.
You're doing it, but it's like he's doing it for his wife.
Oh yeah.
Just like what's his Kelsey Grammer? Remember he's like, I did this for her. I made you.
Oh, it was her parting gift.
Yes, I'm like,
so you
really?
could leave her for the babysitter.
Yeah, exactly. But so that
what
the third.
Slob,
I know.
I have to say, what a slob.
So, but the third part of the reality, like I said, is the celebrity one.
Right.
So it's the ones where, you know, the Braxtons, people that already have
achieved
fame in another whole completely other realm. Music, TV, whatever the case may be. Sports, a lot of those sports athletes and stuff like that, they tend to do a lot of those shows as well. But where do you think the line is drawn between realness and fakeness?
It all depends on because I believe that there's an objective with it. If it was really real, you would see the ugly. Like, do you remember Elton John did a Tiaras and something? It was a documentary.
Oh, he was on that show?
No. He did. It was no. He made a documentary, and it was
Mama
like
June?
No.
What are we talking about? Candle in the Wind? What?
No, he filmed a documentary, and he was like, and it was like him throwing a fit, and people made a comment like, and you didn't want to edit that out, and he was like, no, I didn't want to edit that out. I wanted to show you what it takes to get to X, Y, and Z. That's why I did it.
Right.
It makes me think like if it was really real, you'd see a lot more ugliness, like the individual ugliness that people have. And when they're presenting it,
for famous people.
For famous people,
the come up people. The
but
real
that's
world.
But that's what makes them famous. Because,
right, and then they all of a sudden they don't show that.
Exactly. So there's an objective. So what's the objective? So let's take the Kardashians for an example, because I feel like I talk about them constantly.
And mind you, side note. Before we started this podcast back in the winter, you was all like, "We not talking about
ever."
Not only you said we were talking about the Kardashians, we were going to mention your boo. We're not going to mention. All of a sudden, like
That's all I talk about.
I was like, bitch, then I'm gonna bring up politics every once in a while. Okay?
But the Kardashians, every season they have an objective. So think about it. I want you to think back to season 1.
Oh my gosh. Do I have to?
No, but I want you to think about season 1 was more laying the groundwork as far as the formula goes.
Okay.
But then every season they've had an objective. So when they came out with a skincare line, all they talked about was Khloe, how she lost her ring, and everything that they talked about is I wash my face. I took all my makeup off. I washed my face. The whole season.
I never thought of that.
That's all they talked about. And then at the end of that season, that little hiatus that they had, they came out with a skincare line. And it's
calculated.
It's very, very calculated. And whatever it is going on with their life, however they want to portray what's happening in their real life, then they show it. Khloe never allowed the cameras to show any ugliness with Lamar. But once it finally got ugly, then it was like all of a sudden you saw her with private conversations. Oh, he's lost again. Oh, he disappeared again.
Setting it up.
And setting it up. Right. It's always everything's
This is why I don't watch that show. But I never thought of it that way.
Oh, okay.
This is why I don't watch the show though, because you know how have you ever been in a situation where you feel like you're being bamboozled, but you can't put your finger on it?
Constantly.
You're like, and that's exactly what that show is.
Right.
Because you're sitting there, you're like, this is not right. This is not like
not, yeah.
You can feel like it's not normal, and you're not feeling it. But on the other hand of it, it's like you feel like you're being dragged in.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I haven't watched in years, but now that you pinpoint that's probably what I was picking up on.
Right, but you probably didn't realize. But then also look at the Braxtons. There's an objective with that too. All the sisters have an objective on what they want portrayed and promoted, but they do it in subtle ways where, like, whenever they go to a restaurant, however, they're always seated a certain way.
Yeah.
I understand, it's for camera angle as well, but why do they always have to discuss family drama at a restaurant? It's for a reason. It's part of the story. So
it's always a back room, like an enclosed room.
Right.
You never see them sit in a restaurant. So it makes me wonder, are they in a restaurant? Because they always sit. You ever notice
like
there's
in the
other
chef's
people,
table, yeah.
It's always like a private room.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But there's a formula to this, and I'm gonna credit MTV for that, because MTV, when they were doing their the real world, they had a formula. There was always someone that was gay that they never told you about. There was always someone who had a religious affiliation. There was always one black person. Maybe then they started sneaking in either one Asian or one Hispanic. And there was always...
Can't have both, though.
Can't have both. No. They never had both at the same time. But there was a formula, and then it was how that formula fitted. And there was always that, one year they had the Mormon, but every year it's always, the white kid that's, completely disassociated with the reality of life. Like, they don't know, one year they had a stripper who used to be a stripper or something like that, and it was the one girl who was of course she's the white girl, she was like, oh, then if you really need to support yourself, then go get a job at McDonald's. And it's like, you cannot support yourself from a job from McDonald's, really. And stripping, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't think that's a negative job. So it's all they have a formula, and there's always a formula when it comes to reality TV, and it's what they're presenting at the moment, or whatever objective that the celebrities, the conglomerate has to portray.
What do you think? How do you think that affects us, the viewers?
Well, think about how we view ourselves and what we feel is deserving for ourselves. If we look at the Kardashians, we have to have flawless skin. The body archetype has changed completely.
For real, they are so curvaceous, and forever curves have been frowned upon.
Forever.
I mean, there was a point where Marilyn Monroe, even they made her image look like she was a whore back then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like,
yep.
You know, it was like you can't do that.
Yeah.
You know, and you can't have hips.
Nope.
You know, you can have a small waist, but you can't have big hips.
Right.
You know, definitely not a butt.
No.
You know, men like perky boobs.
Yep.
Like you look at that show, off Mad Men. Like that was the archetype.
Yeah.
And no longer, you know, it. And even on there, when January Jones was she's pregnant, and they called her Fat Betty, it's like,
ugh, yeah.
You know, and it's like just a normal body. But it's nowadays, it's like, no, that's okay.
But funny enough, with the Kardashians, part of their platform is, the older sisters are two of the older ones are extremely curvaceous, but the younger ones are just long and lean.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously the littlest one. The littlest one, I believe she's had enhancements. I
believe they all have.
But which one's the model one that's long and lean?
That's Kendall.
So Kendall, I believe Kendall hasn't had the work done like the other ones.
I don't even think has had as much work.
Oh, Courtney?
She's had like her boobs, I believe. She had boobs done. But she doesn't have like the butt or
anything. But she doesn't look like the other ones.
Right.
So I believe that it's my opinion, I believe that they have broadened that spectrum of what the archetype of a beautiful physique is. Because they all are a little bit different. I'm not feeling them like that. You know, it's just because I feel like everything about them is about usurping cultures. You know, they go around and they take it whoever they can borrow from, you know, and they keep it moving. They never give credit to anybody. Mm-hmm. They steal people's clothing lines and like I just can't. And so when we get back to real or fake, everything that they do is calculated, but I think in the process they lost fans and they just don't come across as believable. Even though they have children and, you know, obviously there has to be something real about them, but at the same time it's like there's so much fakeness that you can't, you're doing this for the gram, you're doing this for the camera, you're doing this for likes. They are. I mean, and Kim has said this. Yeah. Like when Kanye came out and was talking about after he did an interview about when he made those comments about racism, or not racism, slavery was a choice. He said that. Oh, and she was mad that we're going to lose it all? Yeah. Yeah. It's like, that's what her focus is. Right. You know, and I just can't, for me, it's like, I can't, once I recognize that I'm not feeling something, like not feeling good. Right. Like, just not, I'm looking at it and just negative, no good feelings are coming through. I'm not laughing or anything. I'm just like, can't stand these people. I'm not watching no more. Right. And you broke it down as probably one of the reasons why I don't watch anymore. But I was never able to ascertain what that feeling was. Right, right. But with other shows, you know, it's funny you brought up The Real World, and I immediately thought about Tammy. Yes, yes. Talk about now she's on the Basketball Wives. Yes, but that's where she got her start. Right, and it's like she's basically the same chick. She is, yeah. You know what I mean? But it's funny. It's like, but she's also, I believe, it's in my opinion, she found a character that works for her, and she's running with it. Because you can't get this far in life with that attitude. Well, see, this is the thing. So I don't think you watch it, but there's a show on OWN called The Book of John Gray, which speaks to the celebrities getting a reality show. So he's a pastor, and he's a preacher, white guy, dark hair. He's always got like this plastered smile. Joel Osteen. Yeah. So John Gray is a pastor in his church, or he was. And Oprah gave him his own show, and basically on the show, it's him and his wife and his two young children, they're like 7, 5, something like that. And his parents come on every once in a while, her parents. Mm-hmm. And the episode is always about him ministering other parishioners in the church and some of his celebrity friends. Okay. So Tammy was on there, and she was talking about like she doesn't like the image that people have portrayed her. And I'm watching, I'm like, this is not the Tammy. No. And he's saying I know you. It's not you. Like, she's like, I got a character. Right. And but that's what sells ratings. That's what keeps giving her. That's where you go into the real versus fake. How can we believe why is it that people buy into? Somebody like Tamar goes on, and not just Tamar, but like all these celebrities, they go on their Instagram and they're like Fashion Nova. Why would people buy something from somebody that's already said that they have a character?
like it's not real.
I think it's like
one
of those
things. You're taking them for their word based on fakeness.
Yeah, I think it's just one of those things that where we and I'll say we just Juana Q Public or John Q Public, we as a society are okay with that because it's all right. So yeah, but look what they have. It's okay. Right. Like it doesn't matter that it's fake on one side and quote unquote fake on the other. You take what you want.
It's great. I think the best reality shows, honestly, are...
Oof, you're cringing.
The best reality shows, honestly, are the ones that that I prefer, that I enjoy, are the competition ones.
Oh, because it's more, but you know it's cunning.
Yeah, they're cunning, but you also know, like you have I love Survivor because it's just like the challenge,
right?
MTV challenge, just and it's funny because they're the same age group pretty much, but for some reason the people on Survivor seem so much older. I guess because they do have older people on there as well.
Yeah.
Whereas the challenge is more like 20s and 30s.
Yeah, but you also have to understand too that MTV as having this archetype, they need to make sure that the image and what they're cranking out, while the characters need to remain the same, they need to look a certain way.
Right.
So they do give them certain pampering.
But it's funny because it's like some of them are the exact same age and younger than people in the challenge.
But listen, you get a good dermatologist.
Well, they're on Survivor, so they got dirt all up caked up. But on Survivor, the thing that I love is not only just the competition. The competition is great.
Yeah.
I love that. But I also love the conniving and the whispering and the backstabbing, and and to me
because it's just in the open.
Right.
But see, the thing with you is that you appreciate, even if somebody is conniving and a liar, just be honest about it.
Right, just be honest about it.
You appreciate that more, so I think you're able to accept that medium more.
And you know that they're actually they're being real when it comes to the competition aspect. You know what I'm saying? So you're getting both of the best of both worlds. You're getting that fakeness with the whispering and the gossip and starting lies about other contestants. You're also getting the realness with that competition. And I mean, I remember a couple, like maybe 10 years ago, there was a guy on Survivor. His name is Johnny something, but they got to the point in the show where it's like down to like 9 people or so.
Right.
And they have to they get to bring a family member gets flown out as a surprise.
I think I know where you're going.
This guy, it's like his brother or his cousin or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And like whisper but loud enough for everybody to hear.
Yeah.
He's like, "How's grandma?"
Mm-hmm.
And the guy's like, "She died." And then it came out that he lied and they planted that whole thing.
Yeah.
So it's like that goes down as one of the greatest cons because it actually elevated.
He didn't win though. This is the Who Shot JR.
Right, exactly. But it's like he didn't win though. So what was the point? If you do something like that because you're about to win.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. That's the thing about reality TV because it's like you're all in on the suspense, you're all in on the drama, the laugh and everything, the crying, everything. And the fakeness of it mixed with reality, and you're just like, you don't know whether you're coming or going, and it's all good, everything from for Pete's Sake with Holly Robinson and her family to the Real Housewives franchise. I watched all except for OC. I don't know.
That's another formula that you always have the one sassy mouth, the one who's gonna end up in a divorce.
Mm-hmm.
You have the one that's gonna and I truly believe because there's a process to that. You sit down with producers and you talk about what's going on in your life and they figure out what they want to film and not. And I think that they're able to really ascertain the dynamics of your home. Issues when you're in someone's face, you really get to see issues,
Yeah.
So you're kind of like, oh, they're headed for divorce. Cast her.
Yeah.
Cast her. They bickered, and in front of us, she's getting casted. Yeah. So they have another formula too.
I believe probably was too real, and that's why they left.
Who?
Pretty much Adrian and who were you thinking? I was thinking Adrian Malouf and the doctor.
Yes.
Because they were snippy towards each other always.
Yeah.
And she says now that's like her best friend. There's certain people that are meant to be friends.
Wait, Adrian is
Adrian, her husband, the dermatologist.
Yeah.
What was his name?
Dr. Nasir.
Yeah.
But wait, they're best friends, she says?
Yeah, now they're best friends.
Oh, because they're not married anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
And she's like, me and his girlfriend, she's like, we hang out and he hangs out with my boo and she's like, we have children together. She's like, it might be different if we split with nothing.
Right.
where you're forced to have children together. You know what I mean? But they're like one of the few couples on the show where you're looking at it and you're like, they're not doing it for the camera. They actually are snippy like this to each other.
The ones from New York. Remember the guy, the Australian guy, and the homegirl with the blonde hair? And everyone hated him. Everyone thought he was English. Oh, I can't stand him. Oh. Everyone thought he was English, but he's Australian.
They lived in like Brooklyn.
Something like that, yeah.
They're the reason for gentrification in Brooklyn. Okay? If you go to Brooklyn now, you're like, what the hell happened?
What happened? I know. But I believe that they were very, very real and honest, and they were honest about, we did certain things for the camera.
Right.
So I think that's why they kind of like, listen.
I don't think Adrian and... I can't remember his name, Doctor. I don't think they did it for the camera.
No, they didn't.
I feel like they were
this is what you gonna get.
Right,
yeah.
Right. And the funny thing is though, on all those franchises, you can tell whenever they bring a new housewife in, you can tell like she ain't gonna make it.
Yeah.
Because if she's too nice and don't really speak up, it's like, or she's super, super mean and ostracizes herself from the entire group, especially the leader of the group.
Yeah.
You can't be a newbie on Atlanta and be on Nene's bad side from jump. Like, nobody has ever survived.
No.
You have to eventually, like, Kenya only survived because then she turned and she's like, I'm mean, Anybody that ever survives, they're like, okay, me and Nene are friends.
I wonder if I could survive on one of those shows.
I don't think you could.
I don't think so either. No. But knowing to play a character, and, like, I'm not invested with these people for, like, my support system.
Right.
I don't know. I might. I don't know. Maybe one season, maybe two.
I know I couldn't because I just... Like, yesterday I'm walking around because, first of all, I had on these capri shorts, right? Like, capris, not shorts. But they have the lining inside. They're the kind of type where if you get wet, like if you go on a boat or something like that, they dry really quick.
Right.
So I had them, girl, I was sticking. It was like bad yesterday. I'm out there cooking, sweat dripping down my... I never sweat like that.
Oh, boy.
I had to take them off and put on shorts.
Oh.
I never wear shorts.
Oh.
And I know that I could never be on a reality show because all day I was insecure. I'm talking to my family, like, my legs look funky. And they're like, your legs are fine. You have really nice legs. I was like, yeah, but look at my scars. And look at... I just was...
But you know what? I guess because I see your scars as so beautiful.
Yeah,
but I know you don't. I know you don't. Yeah, but it's how you feel. Yeah,
and I know I've been through a situation publicly where people said nasty stuff about me online, and I know I would not be able to handle the social media backlash because I would focus on the negative aspect as opposed to the positive.
Oh, I wonder if I could.
You always see reality stars always writing back to people that say bad stuff.
Yeah.
You never see them say thank you for the compliment. They always like focus on the negative, and I know I just wouldn't be good. So
I gotta know if I could handle it. I don't know.
Well, why don't you work on that, boo? We can turn this into a video podcast. Okay. But I'm not gonna. And playing the role of Tamika is.
No.
I wouldn't be on it.
They blur out your face.
Exactly. But yeah, the reality TV, it's consumed our lives, and I don't. I love it though.
It's the new medium. It's a new medium.
I love it. I mean, people, a lot of the actors, they're like, this taken away from us. Like, no, I don't believe that.
I don't
There's
think
enough for everybody.
Yeah,
you know how many channels there are? Like, give me a break.
How many what?
Channels. How many channels? What did you think I said?
I love the way you said that. Channels.
There's a million channels. It's like ridiculous. So, calm your nerves. Go put your $20 million picture and sit down somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, give me a break. It's always the one that's like, you know
what? Actors never made this much money, right?
No.
Or did they?
Not that I know of. Not that I mean, it's on a whole nother level. And then not only just like movies, but how much they're making for TV shows. So I don't want to hear them complaining about reality shows.
Yeah.
It's like
don't
there's too many channels
for you
to go. There's too many shows, networks to go around. You got Netflix. It's like whatever. Chill. But anyway,
chill, son.
I don't know. But I want to transition to our segment. Yep, that's trending.
Yep.
So yesterday was the annual Nathan's hot dog eating contest.
Yeah.
And Joey Chestnut won. It was also a woman. I forgot to Google her name. Can you Google the woman that won? I want to actually give shine to the woman as well. She won. He won his 11th title. She won her 5th.
Her 5th. Okay.
Yeah, but she doesn't get any recognition. I just happened to be reading and I saw her name. But anyway, so yesterday was the contest, and it started me thinking like, people like, excuse me, Joey was on ESPN this morning, doing an interview. I'm like, really? Mm-hmm. It's not a sport. So I started thinking, I'm like, okay, is the hot dog eating contest a sport?
It's, okay, so, okay. Can we just talk about 1 second? So I think, it's Miki Sudo.
Okay, yeah, that's
Miki
her.
Sudo.
Right.
Okay, so listen, I believe, you put a phrase to me the other day, a non-sport.
Right.
It's a sport, but it's a non-sport sport.
That's how I feel.
Right, because he trains.
Yes.
11, he trains.
He has 44 world titles. So
Damn.
he does pizza. He was talking about this morning on ESPN. He was talking about he was sick.
Skinny.
He was sick. He was like, you could hear it in his voice. He's just like, they're like, how long is it going to take you to recover? He's like, about another day. He's like, I gotta prepare myself for next week. I'm flying out to Toronto for the pizza eating contest. I'm like, really, bro? Really?
Yeah.
So, but he does it all.
Yeah.
Like tacos. You know.
And he's skinny.
Like, he's skinny.
What
But they look at the ones that do the contest. They're all skinny.
All the winners are very, very
And
thin.
I feel like, am I being like prejudiced or insensitive by thinking like, where the fat folk at?
They're there, but it's the health implications. You need to be healthy.
Yeah.
To do.
Plus, you're like
put your
purging
body
all
through
that, so it makes sense that
yeah.
you think about. That's just.
It's but
He says it's a sport.
So I played a non-sport in high school. So I've said this constantly. I joke when
you
people
played it or you participated in it.
Listen, let me talk, okay? So you played, what was that, field hockey? So these physical one-to-one team aggression sort of. I never played that. I'm not a physical person. I was a cheerleader. And there was a physical component to that, and you had to be, you had to have a healthy body in order to do things. And we competed, and we were very good. I was a UCA All-Star, mind you, which wasn't easy. Everybody didn't get to be a UCA All-Star, but at the same time, was it field hockey? Was it soccer? Was it softball? No.
Did you have to train for it?
Yeah.
In which way?
Well, you had to make sure that, number one, like the gymnastics part of it. I didn't do tumbling, but, there's some sort of gymnastics that you could do. You had to be physically flexible, so you had to train your body every day and be flexible and train and the cardio.
What does that entail?
Well, stretching. There's a lot of stretching that you have to do, and not just like do a split.
Right.
But your body has to be flexible. You have to warm up your muscles, and you have to eat well, because that's while, like, let's say, we were doing football games, we had to stand on the sidelines and be just as, I'm not going to say, no, I can't compare myself to, like, a quarterback or a cornerback or a running back, but at the same time, we're standing at the same time, and we're getting the crowd going.
I think about the women or men too, that are supporting the people on top of them. Like, you ever look at their arms? Like the strength that it takes to hold another person.
Heather Suzuki, that girl had guns. Liz Botcher. That bitch had fucking guns, bigger than half the football players. And that bitch could hold somebody up for like a decade and with no problem.
But see, to me, cheerleading is more of a sport than a hot dog eating contest. Even though he says he trains for it, I mean, we all train for whatever we do. I train I don't train for my job, but I could train for my job. If I wanted to be great at my job, which I don't, but
But there's new sports coming about all the time. Look at what is that extreme frisbee?
I saw somebody playing that. I was like, wow, do you see how the boy threw the frisbee? I was like, what I was like, that's skill. And then, but there's like all those sports. Like, people say that golf is not a sport.
No, it's a sport.
Look, anytime where you're allowed to, say you play you can say that you play basketball in the neighborhood on the neighborhood court.
Right.
What sport do you know? What game do you know that you can do all 18 holes with a beer and it's okay? It's like that. If you don't have a beer, you got an issue.
Well,
that's not a sport.
Can't they do that at the PGA Tour?
No, But I'm saying it doesn't matter. That's professional. You can't do that for basketball, football either.
Well, don't soccer players drink a lot?
Not while they're playing it.
Really?
They're not walking up, holding the
Oh no, yeah.
But when they're in golf, they're like, hold my beer real quick. Let me hit this ball.
Yeah, they have a cooler on the cart.
Yeah, they're like. So I mean, I guess you can call it. You can call it a sport. And plus with golf, it's like all these deals. That's the one thing that pissed me off about when we worked in dental. Is like there's so many guys that were like making deals on the golf course.
Ugh, yeah.
And it's like I never learned how to play golf, but then it's like, would you have invited me out for tea time anyway?
Probably not.
Shoot, we might not have even been allowed in the country club, to be honest.
I know.
So,
I wouldn't be.
We got 2 strikes against us. Shoot. But I don't know. When you think about sports, and I keep getting. That was the other thing too. Before the show.
Oh my gosh.
I got you talking about sports every week, but I don't care. You talk about your kids every week. Sure, I can talk about sports. That's all I got.
I haven't talking about them.
Well, I just mentioned them, so I know. My bad. But oh, now you're snorting. Isn't that funny?
No, because if you saw your face, you're like, ah.
True. True. But yeah, I guess we could go down a list. Like, do you consider table tennis a sport? I mean, that's an Olympic sport.
Yeah, that's right?
That's an Olympic sport, table tennis.
Have you tried to play table tennis?
Yes, and I love it.
Hard.
I love it.
Yeah. I think it's a sport.
It's not a damn sport, Marissa.
It's not. It's a non-sport?
It's a non-sport. Just like fencing. I love, when the Olympics come on, I watch fencing.
Yeah.
I love watching fencing.
Yeah.
We have one of the greatest fencers in this country. She's a gold medalist. But, and I follow her on Instagram. But it's like, boo, it's not a sport.
It's not a sport.
You're just sticking people.
What about ballet?
It's a non-sport sport.
It's a non-sport sport? Oh, wow. Okay.
Now you're like thinking through the memory bank. Like, what's a non-sport sport? And what's a sport?
Rhythmic gymnastic? The gymnastics?
See, that might, I don't know. See, it's like, what are the characteristics or traits that go into what you consider a sport? I don't know. You're using your body to compete. And all of the things that we've mentioned, we do. You
use your body.
I mean, in golf, you're using a golf pole or the stick. Golf stick? Whatever. Club.
Oh my God. I was trying to remember. I'm like, putter, 9 iron.
Yeah, we played. But so they use that. In lacrosse, they use the stick. The stick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hockey stick.
Hockey. And speaking of sports, I swear, hockey, there's 2 sports that I consider the most grueling, extensive sports I've ever watched in my entire life. Hockey is one of them. Oh. They got all that gear and they're going back and forth, with a stick in their hand, trying to beat people up. Like, can you imagine all that weight you're carrying?
No.
The other one was it water polo? Is that where you tread the water?
Oh my gosh! And they're going at the floor and then that is ridiculous.
Whenever they show the underwater camera and they're just treading water,
how are they doing?
What in the world? Oh my God! I'd be sitting there like, oh my! But curling is not a sport. You know what I'm saying?
Curling
is not a sport.
It's a non-sport.
It's not even a non-sport. Curling. It's like shuffleboard, right?
Yeah.
But you're like, how do they? Well, I guess it is a sport because they got to stay down low. Their knees got to be hurting.
How do they pick the person who does the little thing and then the people?
Can you believe they train for this shit all year?
I don't know, man.
Shoot, I don't.
They probably make more money than we do too.
We know this. Well, Olympians don't really make a lot of money. They usually, this is not their full-time job. Now, many Olympians during the off season, they're working construction or whatever. They did a story about that on ESPN one time.
But except I know there's top athletes that don't have other jobs.
They have to be top athletes in top sports, right?
Yeah.
It's not like the what do you call the person that the shot put?
Yeah, the shot.
They're not making money like that.
Is that a sport?
I don't know. I mean, if it's in the Olympics, it's a sport. Why don't we go with that?
Yeah, but.
So cheerleading is not a sport.
Oh, golf ain't a sport.
Golf isn't in the Olympics?
No, they're not in the Olympics.
Oh, maybe not. I don't know.
They have that PGA Tour. That's the one with the green jacket, right?
That's the Masters.
The Masters.
Green.
Remember when they were making fun of Tiger Woods? because he won and he gets to pick the dinner for the next year. Like, what are we gonna have? Fried chicken and mashed. First, the fuck off. Fried chicken is delicious.
And don't they know that he don't think he's black? So really,
Cobbling
he's Cobbling Asian. Let's get it real now.
Cobbling Asian.
Shoot.
And then what about
he's gonna have some dried chicken, some sushi.
There's nothing worse than when somebody white makes rice. Oh.
Let's not get into a race thing, because we're gonna get cut
sorry.
off. Well, we ain't got no sponsors. We good. But I'm saying, but, I love my white folk out there. They support.
I got a lot of white folk in my life.
Yeah, you do.
And whenever they make rice, I'm a little offended.
That's because you think your rice is so good.
I know my rice is not that great.
No,
but in comparison.
I think your rice is good. As a matter of fact, I thought you was going to make me some rice and beans today. I'm driving. I'm like, this girl going to make me some rice and beans. Didn't have a rice or a bean.
I was going to make you rice and beans and pork chops. But
see?
I didn't have no pork chop.
I don't need a pork chop.
I'm sorry.
The steak would have been perfect with rice and beans. But
that
anyway,
would have. Yeah, you're right.
We're digressing.
Yeah,
I think this is the end of the show.
No, wait, hold up a second. What's the one? Polo. Polo. That shit
because you're riding a horse and you're trying to. Bitch,
and not
I can't
die.
even ride with two hands on the horse.
And not die.
Yeah, that's a sport. And then, look, okay, how about this? A sport is any competition where when you finish, you're sweating like crazy.
Cheerleading.
You're not sweating. You're holding somebody up.
Okay,
and then
first of all, I want you to scream, tumble.
Give me a T.
First
give me an A-M-I-E. What's that say?
And then you gotta dance.
Another A.
No,
Tamika.
You gotta cheer, dance. You gotta do this a lot in those concentrated 6 minutes in competition. I'm telling you, you'll sweat. You'll break a sweat. And first of all,
what's that song? Make you sweat. Sweat.
Baby, when the music takes control, let the rhythm move you.
Sweat. That's basically what it does. Who sang that song?
Remember isn't that the song where they had in the video where they changed out the singer for somebody skinny?
No. I think it might have been.
Yeah.
Because they had the weather girl.
Yes, that's who it was. Yeah.
She was the real singer. And then they had this skinny dark skinned girl.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, can't we just get a skinny dark skinned girl
to actually sing?
And
then she did the whole rounds to prove that she could actually sing.
Yeah, and
everybody's like, shut up.
Where's she been?
Nobody cares.
Nobody, And it's like, really, can't remember the weather girl's name. Because she had the Raining Men. Didn't she sing? It's raining men. Hallelujah. Yeah.
Oh, did you see that meme the other day where Raining Men and Let the Bodies Hit the Floor are essentially the same song but a different genre?
I believe it.
Let the Bodies Hit the Floor and it's Raining Men. Same song, just different genres.
Wow.
Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor.
I don't know that song. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, yeah, I'll have to Google this song.
Google it, son.
Crazy. But yeah, so, I don't know. Non-sport, sport, what do you guys think? Let us know.
At me, boo.
At me, boo. At us, boo. See, you keep doing the at me, boo. Now you got me saying, so you know what? At Tamika, boo.
Oh, I'm not saying me. Like, yep, yeah, yes.
Oh, at me, boo. Oh, okay.
Oh,
like
my gosh.
I thought you were trying to be like, cut me out. Cut it out. Like I'm Dave Coulier. Anyway, thank you for joining the show. This is rough. This is a rough day, homie. Because I had yesterday off for the 4th of July. You know how hard it is to work on a Wednesday and then go back on a Thursday like you didn't have yesterday off? And it's hot as hell. But
look, I'm in between jobs right now.
I know. I'm sorry.
So,
I'm not trying to throw in your face. I'm just saying.
No, it's okay.
You got every day off, so shut up. You going to the pool today? Yes. I don't want to hear it. Anyway, you got the summer off, basically. Yeah. You and my cousin Yolanda. She had a nerve to talk. That's why I don't work retail. Bitch, you don't work. I'm just saying. That's why I don't work retail. Like, I looked at her like, really? I'm like, really? That's why? You don't work.
Oh, that's what it is?
Anyway.
Ain't it the worst? It's so funny. Like, we were talking about before, when we were talking about reality TV. So, I know a lot of, like, stay-at-home moms that have, like, part-time jobs, like not long-hour jobs, and they tell me how they're just so busy and overwhelmed and this, that, and the other, and I'm always like, really though? Like, what do you do?
What do you mean, what do you do?
What do they do? Like, how are they so busy? You just said
they have part-time jobs.
They have part-time jobs, but how are they so busy and so overwhelmed?
You said the same thing. You say the same thing. What are you talking about?
No, they'll, like, really?
Yes. Like, this is the thing I don't get about. Now we get into a different show. Okay. You always, like, I'm so tired so much. Like, there's not enough hours in the day. Especially when you happen to be working that part-time job that day.
Yeah.
You're just, like, you always talk about you're overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And like we always say, and other people always say, the things you don't like in other people are the things you don't like in yourself.
Oh my God!
And
really?
on that note, thank you for joining us for another episode of Yep Yeah Yes. You can find us on Twitter at Yep Yeah Yes or Instagram at Yep Yeah Yes 18. Thank you for joining us. You guys have a great rest of the day. Right, Marissa?
Absolutely.
Bye.